In this video, I'm going to set up some trades on the EURCAD, and what I will do is talk through my thought process and explain the trades that I'm setting up so that you will get a better understanding of time to trade and maybe educate you in some of the strategies that can be implemented. So first of all, looking at the 5-day 5-minute chart, it looks like there may be an upward channel forming. So if we connect these lows, so if we use this as a point of support, it looks like a channel is forming. From a longer term perspective, the EURCAD is in a downward trend. So if we take a look at that channel and connect some of the points, potentially point of resistance through test, as if you can see a channel based on a parallel line. So it looks like there is a downward channel here. So right now, the EURCAD, the longer term trend is a downward trend, it's making an upward move. So the trade that I am going to set up is to sell when the EURCAD, or if the EURCAD breaks this intraday support trend line. Ideally, the price will pull back to test the longer term support trend line. And I will also use a MACD, so I'm going to sell to open a position if the price breaks through this intraday support trend line. Buy to close. When it hits this lower one, I'm going to pull it in a bit, and just in case it doesn't get there, I will also set up a MACD, an early MACD alert, to close any short position when there's a positive crossover. So to set up this trade, let's select the trend line that we're going to sell to open on. If it is broken, I'm just going to pull this down a little bit. If the price breaks through this trend line, I'm going to sell to open. I want a clean breakthrough, therefore I'm going to use a 1 hour interval. Okay, so I'm looking at a 1 hour chart at the moment. Each candle is 1 hour. So rather than get an alert, I'm going to set up a trade. So sell to open a position, 100k lot. If you enter values into the buy limit or stop limit, these are order sends order, so when this order is executed, limit and stop orders are sent as well based on price or a change, which is based on the opening price plus or minus the change that you enter. But in this scenario, we're going to use technical indicators and trend lines to close out any short position. So if no position, just in case I do something else. So if no position, sell to open, and that's it. So we just want this to happen once, and that's it. So let's activate this rule. Okay, if we take a look at the longer term chart, So I'm going to pull this line in. So the first potential area of support, okay, is around here. So I'm not going to be greedy. If it breaks this trend line and hits this one, I'm going to lock in. So if the price falls below this trend line, I will use a 1 minute base candle. So the minute that the price closes below this trend line, I'm going to lock in profits. So as before, I don't want to get an alert, I want to set up a trade. This time I want to buy to close this short position. Okay. I only want to execute this if I am short. So if for whatever reason the price gets down to this trend line and I possibly have manually closed it, or another rule that I'm going to set up has closed it, then don't do anything. So only if short, execute this rule. And again, do not change the status of the, actually I will pause all alerts at that point in time. And again, send once. Now in case the price doesn't make it down to this trend line, I will use a MACD indicator. So an early interval MACD, positive MACD crossover will be used to close out any short position. So click on this icon, it's positive crossover, add an alert to it, or a trade to it. So buy to close, on the K lot, as before, if short, close this position, and when this happens, pause all other active alerts and send once. So now if the MACD triggers before the price hits the lower trend line, then it will pause the trend line alert and vice versa. So now we sit back and wait and see what happens.